Welcome to Spurs Vision TV. Good evening to all you guys in Asia. Good afternoon to all you guys in Europe, and of course, especially in the UK, especially London with Stephen and Arturis. And of course, good morning to all you guys in the Americas, right? Especially to my brother in
Correction,
Canada.
I'm in Suffolk. I ain't in London.
Oh, in Suffolk.
I moved from London.
Okay, you're in Suffolk.
I got out of that show.
He's in Hertfordshire. All right, but before we continue, right, I got a very special guest today making his debut. Right, he's from Malaysia too. Right, give him a special give him a special welcome. No, he's not my next door neighbor. I got to ask him where he stays, but we might be staying quite near to each other. All right, let me bring in Kesha. Hi, Kesha.
Hi, Eugene. Thank you for having me. I'm good.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Meet Stephen, meet Arthur. Right, Stephen's an Arsenal fan.
Hi, Stephen. Hi, Arthur. Hi.
Spurs fan. We in the back room. We're just having some banter.
Who do I support?
Looks like a cock on a ball to me.
Kesha is a West Ham fan. So Arthur and Stephen wondering, where do you stay, Kesha? Are you in KL?
Yes.
Which
PJ,
part?
PJ.
Oh, you stay in
Jalan
PJ.
Gasing.
Oh, you stay in Jalan Gasing. All right.
Yes.
That's not that near my place, but it's quite near. But that's about half an hour away.
Kuala Lumpur. That's about as far as it goes.
Yeah, you know where Kuala Lumpur is, right? But guys, thanks for being on today, right? The show that today we're going on to, of course, we are looking at the end of the international break, and most of our teams have sent a lot of players out on international duty. And I think Arthur, being a Spurs fan, this international break didn't break us. I guess we're quite happy that most of all our players came back fit and roaring, right? Scoring goals, doing well in the international games, right? And it's good for Spurs, right? Because usually when international break happens, we break during international break, but we didn't break. But Stephen, any news on your side of the pond?
Well, they're saying Tomiyasu, Partey, and Zinchenko could all be fit for the North London derby, right? Which is probably meaning they are fit, and like whether they are, it probably means they're not fit. And what happens is Arteta's saying I'm going to play them anyway, right? And just it's not the first time Partey's played when he's not fit against Spurs and he's got injured because of it. So what was it? Did he actually push him back on? Oh yeah, he did, didn't he? Yeah, but
I think Tierney is confirmed injured, right?
Tierney's had another. Is now had basically his whole body's made of glass, and unfortunately, he's got a crack in his head, like like one of those. No, one of those cracks in the screen. Like he's got one of those sort of injuries, right? So he'll be calling
fractured.
No, it'd be calling auto glass to get a replacement. So the man's made of glass, mate. You touch him, he falls apart. Right. So So I'm not surprised Tierney's off injured again. Right, it might mean Granit Xhaka's on the left back.
But Xhaka's been doing well, hasn't he?
Yeah, and then you put him at left back and see what happens.
Well, let's see what happens. Put him at left back. And Keshav, any news from the West Ham side? I mean, you do have a few international players too, right? Like Paqueta and all that. Did Paqueta go to Brazil? Did he join up? Yeah.
Yes, Lucas Paqueta played, and also Declan Rice for the England national team. I did watch the highlights. I think they played Hungary. Is it Hungary they played England? Or
no,
Germany.
Hungary.
Germany and
Germany
and Italy.
England, Germany, Italy, Hungary, and England.
Germany, England, right. I thought Declan Rice wasn't really his best game, but I feel he's starting to build some of his momentum because I feel these past few games he's lost a bit of it. And if you look at West Ham season so far, it hasn't gone to plan of what I hoped for. But the reason we do have international break is for us to see how our players do. And when watching that England versus Germany highlights, I mean, I keep thinking that whenever I see Southgate play his formation, it looks very defensive. He keeps playing three at the back, and you know, if you're looking at that England side, you have so many quality players like Kane and Sterling and Foden, and you want to use them to their best of their ability. But when I look at Southgate and the way he's using his players, it's just not right. He keeps playing Maguire, which I think is a very stupid decision. And if you look at the past few games, Maguire has been awful. He doesn't. If you look at,
We ain't been on
if
the
you look,
pitch, is he? We ain't been on the pitch. We got, has he?
Yeah, and we got Dyer there too, right? But
Yes,
coming back to
yeah.
coming back to England, right? At the moment, what I see how England plays, like how Spurs are playing. At least Spurs are getting results, right?
Yeah.
That's how I see it, right? So, but before we continue, just let me get onto the chats and say a big shout out to Chris Agamba, big up Chris, right? And of course, Guguma, big up, Theo, big up,
Big up.
big love, right?
Hey.
Yeah, but one thing is it that I'm not sure because for me as a Malaysian, our Malaysian national team going to the World Cup will always be some kind of a pipe dream. Keshaf knows that.
You never know.
We never know. Maybe
If you get it hosted in your country.
maybe we get it.
If you put the
Asian
bid
World
in
Cup.
to get it hosted there, you never know because they love to say because of this. Now they've said they're going Qatar, right?
Yeah.
Because they want to branch that sort of way in the distance and branch to the wider world, right? You'll probably get more of a chance than we will.
Yeah. No, but the thing is that for the World Cup, I think if we are going to host it, we are not going to host it as a nation on its own. But before we continue, let's see who's jumping on.
It's like Japan and South Korea, isn't it?
Yeah. And of course, we got Luca.
Big up,
Big
man.
up, Luca.
Big up, yeah.
Yeah.
Big up.
Oh, this is
Yeah, I'm
Luca.
good, man.
Hold on,
It's all
Luca.
right, mate. You've had 7 minutes
Hold on,
late.
Luca. Hold on. Yeah. Luca's the first time debut too for Luca, so he needs this. Hold on. Hi, Luca. Sorry.
Big up, man.
Spurs
Big up, man.
Vision TV debut entrance. Yeah.
Mate,
Yeah,
you
can
should
you
have
hear
banned.
me?
You should have banned him from that, right? Like, you was 8 minutes late. Come on.
Oh,
He told me
Stephen, man.
Luca told me he was going to be late. He was coming back from work, so no problem. Man. And my shows are very free. You can jump in, jump out anytime you like. Right. Luca, how you doing? We were just talking about England, right? And we were just talking about Maguire. And of course, we were talking to Stephen about Arsenal, about the players coming back from the injuries from international break, right? About Tierney. Who else did we talking about? Tierney, Partey.
Tierney, Partey, Tomiyasu, Sinchenko, and Odegaard.
Even Odegaard is injured now?
Yep.
No, well, he had a little bit of an injury, but him and Sinchenko are available for Saturday's match against you lot.
That's not 100%, mate. I told you this. It's not 100%. Can and will are two different words. Can means is a possibility. Will means he definitely will be.
There's two different words.
But for me, right, what I fear is, right, when they all come back from their international breaks, right, they're traveling from all over the world, right, will jet lag play a part of it? And then while they go through their training, go back to their training sessions and all that, will they pick up little injuries, right, like muscle strains and all that? That's my biggest worry, right? So let's see how that goes. And of course, Luca, we were saying that England plays like Spurs now, but without the results.
That's why we wear white shirts, isn't it?
Okay, all right. We're all wearing white shirts, right? White shirt.
Well, look, we're on a winless run. We've got Kane as a captain. What do you expect?
Yeah.
What do you expect, Harry Kane, mate?
Yeah. But of course, like for being a Spurs fan, we are quite happy because most of our players didn't come back with any injuries and all that. Luca meet Keshaf is also he's from Malaysia too, but he's a West Ham fan. So we were just asking Keshaf about the players coming back.
Yeah.
But what I see Keshaf right at the moment, Declan Rice doesn't look like the Declan Rice of last season.
Yes, I do agree with that. I think it's the way we have started this season which I think has affected our performances, and it came all the way through last season. Um, Through the end of last season, we just weren't playing well. The standards we set was falling apart, and even carrying on through this season, we just don't look the same team. The togetherness doesn't look really there, and if you look at the midfield, it looks very fragile right now with Rice and Suchek there. And if I know there's a lot of rumors to say that Rice will leave, which I think it's inevitable, and he might go to Chelsea or who knows, but that looks like a
Not the
possibility.
price tag that's put on him, though.
Yes, he's
You,
just not.
He's got
you guys
English
want like
tax
something
in
like
it. It's price tag.
they want 150 million for him or
Kesh,
something like
I
that,
wanted
right?
to
Oh,
ask Kesh,
ridiculous.
I wanted to ask Kesha, but as a West Ham fan, do you think it's actually it might just be because the new signing is taking time to bed in to the team?
Yes, I do agree with that because you can't expect new signings to adapt quickly, and you bring in the likes of Paketa and Skamaka, who are really good quality players, and with Moyes, when you think of Moyes, he's not the type of manager to bring in these type of players. You expect he works with a short string budget, and if you bring somebody like Pakata in for 55 million and you expect him to bed in quickly, it's not the right thing to do. You have to give him time. But I think the thing about Western fans is we're very impatient. We want things to come in very quickly, and that's not right. And in this time, we just have to back the team as it is, and we have to just see how it goes because I know we as a fan base can be very impatient, and we did it with Pellegrini and Bilic the last time, but right now the reason is that we're going to stick with Moyes with what he's done the last 2 seasons. That's who has taken us to 2 Europa League, one in Europa League and now Conference League. So I don't think it's the right time to sack him yet, but I do think it's the right time to, let's see how we do. We've got these players in, let's step it up and let's see what we can do because we do have great players. And don't get me wrong, if we do lose Declan Rice in the summer, it's going to be very difficult to see who we get in because if he goes, then the midfield it looks completely broken and fragile, and we just don't have the
Well,
quality players.
Keshev, picking up on the point you said, you as a fan base are impatient. That's the general scenario throughout the whole of football at the moment. Every club is impatient. All their fans are impatient. They want things to happen overnight. Doesn't work that way. You can get some guy in. We were lucky. Last January, we brought in 2 players, Kulusevski and Bentancur, and they fitted in straight away. Things were happening.
Yeah, I don't need the reminder.
Yeah, we just thought I would remind you gently. But other players we've brought in
Arthur,
taken time to settle in. Yeah.
No, but to tell you, the truth, Rakesha, I think the past 2 seasons when West Ham being in Europe, right? I think it's drained a lot of the players because your squad is not that big, right? And you had to play more or less 2 games every week, and that has taken a lot out of your team. And not to mention that like Rice had to play all the way to the finals of the European Cup, right? Maybe that's one part of this why Rice is not at his top of the form at the moment, like Harry Kane.
I think also last season, they put so much into the Europa League and try and do well in that because like they were probably underdogs as for getting top 4, right? Or so they thought, why not have a crack at the Europa League while you're at it? I do agree, David Moyes, that you would stick with him because he's done a fantastic job. He's not buying players like Fellaini, for God's sake. He's less on that one. But yeah, and it's like I was asking the question earlier. I just think it's time. I think if Rice goes, I think gradually as Paqueta fits in, he's there in case probably Rice does leave. So if Rice does leave for an 80, whatever price tag is on him, right, the Paqueta will fit straight into that mold. So it's mainly managing because 2 games a week and you work Conference League on a Friday, right, and then you have to play on the weekend. It's this is why I didn't agree with the Conference League in the first place. It's just stupid, because you're putting too many games too close together. So, but yeah, I mean, they'll probably have a crack at the Europa Conference League, and I do feel that will probably affect their league performance. So I'm not expecting West Ham to be probably challenging for Europe again this season because of those players fitting in, plus challenging for the Conference League.
And that's exactly, if I can jump in there, Steve, that's exactly what happened to Spurs, playing in that bloody Conference League. And I remember on one week...
And you still couldn't win it.
Yes, Stephen, we know. We didn't win it.
We know that. The point is, within a couple of days, we were then playing West Ham. We lost to West Ham as well. It does affect your league form. You haven't got time to recover.
No, but the thing is, because if you play in the Europa League and actually
even a Thursday is a struggle.
They play on Thursday. No, the thing is that if you play somewhere in the Champions League, right, the teams that you play around, right, are closer to home. But once you play in the Europa League and the Conference League, you have to travel to some.
You're traveling to goddamn Azerbaijan or somewhere.
Yes,
You've got to take a private plane if you're going to get back on the same day.
There was one game that we played in that Conference League. We travelled somewhere like halfway around the bloody world to get to the other side of Russia. I can't remember their name, but it was ridiculous. Because the time we got back, everybody was knackered.
Yeah, I think it was MS Mura or something like that, right? But question for Luca here, right? Luca, right?
Yeah.
Since you guys have gotten back into Europe, right? Do you think that will take a toll on your squad too?
No, I think with us, look, I think we're doing very well at the moment. Like we're unbeaten 6 out of the 7 games, but yes, it is an opportunity for us to get back into Europe, and our main target is with this manager is to get back into the top 4. And for me, what I want to see is yes, of course we've got you this weekend. It's going to be a tough game. And then we've got Liverpool the following week. I just feel, look, we're playing very well at the moment. We've had a decent transfer window, right? But I do think we didn't do enough in the window. I think we could have bought another midfielder and another winger. But however, I just feel with this, we're playing very well. Jesus is scoring goals. Saliba's looking very good at the moment. And for me, look, this game's going to be a difficult game. Don't get me wrong. It's a North London derby. Anything can happen in this game. Form goes out the window. But I think with this, do I think we can get top 4 this season? Depending on how we do in the next few games, right? But I had a conversation with Stephen before affair. He thinks that we'll get top 4 even if we don't get anything out of these 2 games. But I just look. I think January is cruel because I think if we get a couple of additions in, we can get top 4 with this squad because we don't want to have the same mistakes what we did last season, right? Where we didn't go and get anyone in January because we know that we don't bring players in January anyway. So, look, we've got a chance this year. We're looking better compared to last campaign, but it's about what we're going to do in January. It's about how we're going to keep this because, look, we played Manchester United at Old Trafford. Right, I thought we played well in parts of the game, right? But of course, we deserve to lose the game. But I think with Tottenham, yes, we're at home. We've got a great record against you. You haven't beaten us in the Premier League since 2010, I think, when Yunus Kabul scored that header. So we've got a good chance against you. And both teams, look, you lot are going to be going into this game playing counter-attack football, playing the low block and all that, whereas we're going to just go there and just play our own game. And I think I'm confident we can get something out of this game, depending on how we set out. Yes, there has been doubts about Thomas Partey and that, but I think we can beat you this weekend, depending how we set out, depending if Partey's fit, depending if look, what I'm hearing today on Twitter, it's if they're fit. It's not guaranteeing if they're going to be fit, but if they are fit by coming Saturday by 11:30, the team news, then I think we can beat you this weekend.
But before we continue, right, just say a big shout out to Lisa. Lisa, good morning to you. She's in Mexico, right? A Spurs fan in Mexico. I think she was from the UK before she moved over there, right? Muy bien, yes. What about Sonny being on fire, nervous, excited at the same time for Saturday?
No, I'm
And
nervous as well. Don't get me wrong.
yeah,
I'm
we all are
nervous
nervous.
as
Being a
well.
Spurs fan, all of us are. Because at the moment now, we haven't beaten you guys in 12 years in the Emirates. For
In
me,
the
it's
Premier League,
even, in the Premier League. And to tell the truth, if we get away with a draw, I'll be very happy. But like earlier, I was talking to Steven, right? I think Spurs and Arsenal has a deal, right? We lose to you, and you lose to us. That's all. And we will share the 3 points and we'll be happy instead of taking 1 point each, right? That will help us in our table.
But we didn't like it when we lost at White Hart Lane when our Champions League hopes were gone. So
I was there.
so we're coming for revenge. We're coming for revenge in this game. So
No, I don't think so.
Yeah.
Don't
But
think so.
let's get to Steven, right?
Sonny's on fire now.
What?
Steven, right? I mean, you guys haven't been in Europe for how many years now? 3 years, 4 years? Is it 3 or 4 years?
We only missed it last year.
Oh, you missed it last year. You weren't in Europe for 1 year. This year you're back in Europe again, and you're playing the Europa League, right? And you're saying the Thursday games actually take more out of the teams because you have to play on Sunday. Most probably, when you play Thursday, you play Sunday. You will never play any other day, right? And these games are coming thick and fast now before the World Cup. I think they're going to try to squeeze. You guys got to play like what, 9 games in the next month or so?
Yeah.
In October, right? Do you think that will actually give your squad a problem with the injuries that you guys are going to have?
Yes.
Right.
Right. Here's the thing that I'm going to bring up tonight, right? We brought on a 16-year-old in the last 2 minutes of the game in our last game. What the fuck was that for? What was it for?
15-year-old. Yeah, 15-year-old.
It said, no, 16. He was 16, just. Right? It was to make Arteta look good and saying, oh, look, I've broken the youngest player of the year, youngest player in the Premier League, right? Project Youth has banged, right? Not how shit our squad depth is, right? I mean, seriously, do these super fans not use their frigging brains? Have they got an IQ of that? Like, is that an IQ there? Seriously. Like, I mean, honest to God, like, if you're bringing on 16-year-olds in the Premier League, that means you've got no squad depth whatsoever, right? It means your squad management is shit, right? Simple as that, right? We're lucky you're in Europa League, right? To be honest, because if we were in the Champions League, oh my God, we'd be torn apart. It'd be so bad, it would be explicit, uploaded to Pornhub, right? Honest to God, right? I'm so glad that this part of me feels justified why we are in Europa League, right? Because our squad depth is not good enough for the Champions League. Simple as that. Right?
Yeah, but the thing is, how do you know? Sorry to interrupt. I'm sorry to interrupt, but how do you know, right? If we would have got Champions League football this season, right? Would we still had a stronger squad depth? Because you see, it makes an attraction if we would have got top 4 last season.
No, because we're going to spend any more than what we've spent.
Yeah, but depending on what the players we were going to bring in, who knows?
No.
But guys, I mean, at least you guys are trying to bring on a 16-year-old, giving you a chance. Look at Conte. The whole of last season, right? When we were playing in the last part of our matches, even the beginning part, I think when he turned to the back, I mean, of course, the last 4 or 5 games.
You've got options that can actually change the game. We've got literally the most predictable substitutions in the bloody Premier League.
But Steven, we were lucky because we brought in Kulu and we brought in Deki and Bentancur, and they seamlessly slipped into the team and performed so well. Yeah. Right? We were lucky there, to tell the truth. If they came in and performed like shit, we most probably the 4th place would be in yours. But of course, the 4th place is ours, right? At the moment, it's ours. It's the same thing again. We look at our bench, right? It's the same thing.
I'll also add that was down to bloody good scouting. That.
Yeah, I mean, of course, that was one of
Look, in terms, this is why I'm glad that the North London derby's this week, not next week. because we've got Europa League during the week next week. But this, like, I'm not worried about Europa League or next week, right, or the game next week. I'm worried about this week. I don't give a crap. Right? They won their bollocks off until literally the last kick of the game. Right? If it means you're shattered on Thursday, then fine. Right? It's a North London derby. Right? You don't lose a North London derby ever. I don't care if it's home or away, whatever. Right? But in telling the truth, right, this game is not gonna be us dominate the ball while you lot sit back and counter attack. It's gonna be decided in the midfield.
Steven,
right?
you guys are gonna go.
Conte is gonna look at our mid. Conte is gonna look at our mid. No, Eugene. Conte is gonna look at our midfield, and he's gonna be like, yes.
He's got a point.
I'm gonna toast them.
Unless Conte plays 3 in midfield. Haven't you not seen, right? Ever since we played, if we played the 3-4-3, right? We don't have a midfield. Have you not watched all the games that we've been playing? We've been overrun in midfield.
Eugene, here's the thing, right? Our midfield is so weak without Partey, right? You got Granit Xhaka. Yeah, if he doesn't feel like he's in the game, he'll do something stupid, 2-foot someone and take an early bath, right? We've seen him do that before, right? And you've got El Neni. El Neni, he's in. I don't know if he's injured or not, but if he's fit, right, then he's a 7 out of 10 hard worker. Lokonga's only 22, 23. He's only certainly second season of football, and even then, it's still like his first season, because his first season last season he didn't get any minutes. So this is like his first season anyway, to get some minutes, right? And you've got Vieira. Okay, yeah, he played well in Europa League. That's Europa League. This is a North London derby, right? Totally different game, right? Conte's gonna be sitting there and think Kulusevski, Bentancur, right? Son, Kane, right? More, right? All around in that midfield, Dyer, right? Granit Xhaka, I'm telling you now, is getting sent off because he'll do something stupid.
It wouldn't surprise me if he does get sent off in this game. How people could say, yes, Xhaka has played very, very well, but I think what people are forgetting is a short memory about his mistakes in the past.
Yeah.
This is why I said it's going to be a tactical battle in the midfield. It's not going to be you just sit back and wait for us to counter attack.
Well, of course, I understand what you're saying. It's going to be a tactical battle in the midfield. But all the games that we've been playing recent, right, we've seen that our midfield has always been over-flooded. And the worst part is that we don't have the wing backs for an escape route, right? And when you have Emerson Royale as your right wing back, right, who's on your left playing against our right?
It's either it's Martinelli.
Martinelli. Martinelli is going to run rings around Emerson.
Oh, right? Martinelli's going to have him in his pocket.
Yeah. So that's the only thing, right? So, but the thing is, when we come down to how I see this game, in the end of the day, it's going to be a battle, right? If we do sit back and absorb your pressure and we go on a counter, will your defense be smart enough, quick enough to counter Son and Kane? Or Kulu, or Richie, because we do not know who's going to come on, Son, Kane, and Kulu, or Richie. Who's going to play, we do not know, right, at the moment, right? And of course, during the Leicester game, when Conte changed to a 3-5-2, that's when the magic snapped. Then that's when it free-sonned up. That's when the balls went to Son, and Son did his 14-minute hat-trick, right? Which he hasn't scored a goal in 7 games or so, 6 games before that. Right?
Oh, that'll change. That'll change by the end of this week.
Yeah, of course, that will change, right? That will change, right? But of course, Kesha, sorry, right? This is an NLD thing.
I'm saying no. I'm sounding this negative, but I'll never ever predict Arsenal to lose.
Yeah, of course we all do.
It.
But okay, let's get Keshav's opinion, right? Keshav is a West Ham fan, right? He of course. Where are you guys in the table now? You are really in a bad position, right?
18.
18, right?
I don't want to talk about it because it's really bad. So
yeah, because of course there is hope that you guys will improve. You get what I'm saying, right? Yeah. Because you've got Skamaka and Paqueta. Once they gel with the team, and then Of course, that's maybe. I think now maybe
that
Declan Rice is
squad's too
actually.
good to go down.
Yeah,
Squad's
maybe
too good.
Declan Rice at the moment is downing tools or something, right? That's why he didn't get his move to Chelsea. He's not happy, or we do not know, right?
But do you
What
think
happened?
West Ham could have a similar season? Like when people were saying to us that Arsenal was 16th place at one place, and then do you think West Ham could have a similar season to that from 18th, and then West Ham could climb up to like 10th or something?
No, it's
No.
just 3 wins away. You know, you're talking about if you win 3 games on a trot, right? You're back up there. This is the wonderful part of the Premier League, right? If all of a sudden, like if Arsenal loses 3 games in a row,
The
they'll
reason
drop
it's
right
like
down
that is because
out of
we're
the
only
top 6.
we're only
Same
eight
for
we're only
Spurs.
9 we're only 8. Well, we're going to say 9 games. We're only 8 games in, aren't we? So
Yeah, we're only 8 games
like,
in, 7 games in. You're not
like you
mistaken.
don't
8 or 7.
know where you're at until literally like 10 or 12 games.
Yeah. But let me do a big shout out to Bobby K. Bobby K, good morning, Bobby K. All right, he's in Canada. Big up to Bobby K.
Unless you're Leicester.
Oh,
Sorry,
Leicester's
Chris.
gone.
Sorry,
Yeah.
Chris.
I do say sorry to Chris too, yeah. Unless you're Leicester at the moment. Leicester is beyond help at the moment, right? But at least West Ham does have that potential there. But okay, this question I'm going to ask Keshav because Keshav is an outsider at the moment, right? As you see Spurs and Arsenal, right? Our clubs, our team, our squad, right? And of course, Arsenal is playing the better football, right? And Spurs is like, even I watch Spurs and I go, right? So how do you, I mean, even though we are unbeaten, right? Same like M City, you know, we're like with M City at the moment, right? Apart from the goal score, yeah, right? Goal difference, right? But Keshav, being a West Ham fan, between Arsenal and Spurs, right? What do you think? I mean, we're not talking about NLD. We're not talking about a North London derby. For the North London derby, I've come to the conclusion, right? We'll lose to you at Emirates, and you will lose to us at White Hart Lane. That's it. Yeah, that's the deal. Signed. Yeah. Keshav, what do you think about? I mean, our squad for the overall season.
By the way, Keshav, like, think very carefully before you answer.
No, you don't be afraid of Stephen, right? You're in Malaysia. You gotta be afraid of me. I mean, I didn't care.
Yeah, I can't fly out there, mate. Fuck that.
Yeah. Looking at those two squads, I mean, okay, let's start with Spurs. Looking at Spurs season right now, I think they are doing, I would say, reasonably well. I mean, the squad. I feel the Spurs defense is not. I mean, if you look at it, Dyer. I mean, he's not really a great defender. I don't really rate Dyer. I think Romero looks good, and I think you signed Longley, right, from Barcelona on loan, if I'm not mistaken. You did sign him.
Langley.
On loan, yeah.
Yeah. I think he looks good so far. But I think what I can see from Spurs is that you're playing a very structured and defensive way of football. And as usual, Conte's style of football is...
There's no freedom to express yourself, which with players like Kane and... Sorry to interrupt, with players like Kane and Son, they want the freedom to express themselves on the pitch, and they're not getting that.
Yes, exactly. Yes, so I feel Conte is not... He's limiting Kane and Son to express themselves. And if I look at it, it's like just sit back, wait for them to make a mistake and counter. And that's what Conte's football has always been. And if you look at Arsenal on the other side, I mean, to be honest, I'm really impressed with Arsenal. I think they are looking good. I think from last season on, I think there was one point, I think in the beginning of last season that I think you lost to Brentford 2-0. And I think Arsenal fans are starting to get very worried and concerned that, sack Arteta. There was a time where you're going to looking to sack Arteta, and there's these rumors and all that.
Suddenly, that ain't gone away. Trust me. That's still very alive.
But then Arsenal went on this run, and then all these rumors started to sort of go meltdown. So, but I'm really impressed with Arsenal. I think you've got a really good side. I think Martinelli looks really good. Saka looks excellent. The midfield looks really well balanced with Xhaka and Partey, and I think Lokonga also starting to get minutes. I think the backline looks really good. I think Ramsdale, to be honest, is the signing of the summer. I mean last season. Did you get him last season? Was it last season?
Yeah.
Ramsey, right? Yes.
Ramsey.
So yeah, so I think you've got a really good squad, and I think I feel Jesus now adding into that striker position has been, I mean, it's helped you a lot really, and I think it's credit to Arteta to get him, because I think that without Jesus you wouldn't be scoring that many goals or finding the pockets of spaces to score. So I think that's a job well done to Arteta, and now, looking at this derby, it's going to be a nerve cracking derby, of course. I think you've got to see two really good teams, but I'm going to go for a draw. I think it's going to be a very end-to-end. I'm going to say 1-1. I'll say 1-1.
He's
Yeah.
chickened
Right.
out of it.
But before I go on, right, just big shout out to guys in chats. Big up Kim, right? Kim,
Oh.
I think this match is the first real test for either team, right? That's true. But the first real test, and of course Bobby K is here too, right? Bobby K is here. Who else is here? Benny boy from the coffee company, right? I think he's just finished his show. That's why he's here. And of course we got Guguma, big up Guguma. Yeah. Sorry, Kuva. We got Kuva.
Kuva.
Yeah, Kuva. He's picking up Guguma right at the moment. Yeah. But messages are coming in
Eugene,
control
he's
and
just
all that.
unsubscribed now.
Yeah. Nah, Kuva will never unsubscribe, right? Kuva's a good brother. But he might just left the show though. Right, Kuva, if you want to join us, you can join us. I'll send you the link, right? If you're still listening. But of course now, right, Kesha, what you say is very true. I guess that I mean, a lot of people in the chats are most probably all Spurs fans. We are actually quite nervous going to the Emirates at the moment because our record there has never been brilliant. We've never been brilliant there, right? I think Bobby K wants to join us. Let me send him the link. At the moment, let me see. Okay, Bobby K wants to join us. Let me send him the link. But the thing at the moment now, as I see it, we've beaten you once last season in, of course, the what I call in at the White Hart. I mean, Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, White Hart Lane.
Shit lane.
Yeah. Whatever. But
that was a fantastic atmosphere. That.
But in the end of the day, I guess you guys are more.
I
nervous.
bet it was.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's good football. It's good football. We any means I hate
You
the
bloody
fact
hear
that
it for the
women's are playing
TV.
football. Yeah. But what I'm saying is that, right, in the end of the day, right, would it actually come down to managerial tactics to win the North London derby?
Yeah.
Right.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Right. For like we said, it's the Conte knows our weaknesses are midfield. He also knows that our right back position's not strong.
Hey, Bobby K.
He'll probably also
Morning,
say
good morning. How are you? Oh, better get rid of this red.
You could also say that our left wing back is now in jeopardy as well. So he'd want to be dominating the midfield and taking charge of those wings. Because if he gets control of them, because I think both whoever you have on the right and you got Son on the left, they'll absolutely tear apart our wing backs or fullback. Sorry, that's going to have the only positive I would say is that against your striking force, we've got a defender that you're going to have a heartache to break down, and that's called Saliba.
That's true.
Saliba did make mistakes against France during the international break.
Yeah, that's France. I don't care. Fuck the French. Sorry.
We generally have.
Tell him, Arthur.
Yeah, but anyway, Saliba's been quality ever since he's got on the Arsenal shirt. So I expect him to do just the same job. It's actually Gabriel that I'm more worried about, to be honest, because he's been making mistakes.
Yeah, and Bobby K, meet Luca and Keshav. I don't think you met them before.
Good
Luca
afternoon. Good afternoon.
Nice to meet you,
Good
man.
morning.
Nice to meet you, man.
Great,
nice
pleasure's mine. How are you guys? Good to see you.
Yeah.
Good.
Bobby K is from Canada, so just to let you guys know, he's in the morning time there now, and we are in the evening time.
Yes, sir. 10 a.m. Yep.
Bobby,
It's the only time
Bobby,
me and Eugene can meet up. Yeah.
Bobby.
Yes, sir, Arthur. Yes, sir.
How's Canada?
Canada is fantastic. The weather is turning. The weather's getting cold. Fall is here.
Yeah,
But
same here.
the good thing is, the closer I get to winter, the closer I get to my trip to coming to England in January. So I got no problem with the cold weather. Bring it on, baby. Bring it on.
Yeah, we had lovely warm weather, but we froze our tits off recently.
Well, don't freeze them all the way off. You'll have nothing to play with that night, right? You know? Gotta have a little bit of fun as we get older here.
I don't want to know what you lot get up to. Thank you. It's not a football show. Right,
but first,
so
wait, before we continue this.
I know it says not made for kids, right on the show.
No, I need to ask.
Still for you the video, okay? Right.
But before when Kesha comes here, I would ask him.
Where 6-year-old Spurs fan watches your show, goes to their mum and said, "Mummy, what's tits?"
At 6, he should still know.
Yeah.
It's your food source.
Eugene.
Yeah.
Just on the game for Saturday, I'd like to see us do like we did against Leicester. Let's play a 3-5-2.
Yeah, that's what we all like to see, right? And not have Emerson as one of our wing backs.
No, that's right.
Yeah, because the
3-5-2 or a 5-3-2. Yeah.
Yeah. The thing is, but I tell the truth, right? We've been playing a 5-4-1 lately, if I'm not mistaken. The way that the setup's been, I've been watching the games. That's why I've been telling Steven and Luca, right? If we have Emerson, right, on the right wing, and you have Martinelli, right, on your left wing coming at us, right? The only thing is that what a lot of teams has been doing lately is that they just go down that wing to attack us. That's always what's been, right?
He's the weak link.
Yeah, he's
that's
the weak
what
link.
an elite manager will establish out of your side, but Arteta's not an elite manager. He's going to play his way, and that's the end of it. Right? We already know from Arteta from his 3 years, and he's made it very specific. It's his way or no way. Simple as that. So if
the manager makes the choices anyway. So
well, if he wants to play left down the wings, right, and change it, then Jesus Christ, he might actually be learning, right? But usually I'm gonna do what I do best, which is just play my normal game. We'll get torn open, and then he'll just probably make out and said, well, we tried to do everything we can, but unfortunately that wasn't what we intended. Well,
to be fair, Stephen, Conte is not much different either, and this is a manager that's won it all and has experience. He's very set in his way with his formations as well. So
you can trust Conte with his experience, though.
Yeah, true.
Fair enough, but you know what? If Arteta's getting the results, then you have to have. I don't want to give the guy any praise, of course, because I despise him, but he's got something going right. You guys. I hate saying it, but you guys have been playing good football. So it's the real test comes now. Like one of you already said, the real test for both teams is this weekend. So it's going to be interesting to see. And if it comes down to tactics, then Conte's got to get it right.
We've already had.
I need to pose this one question before we all carry on.
Yes,
You've got a team that's playing good football, the sort of football that we've always played over the years, or tried to. We made a reputation on it. But now you've got Spurs playing a game which none of us likes, and yet they're winning.
Not losing.
Now, I've always been brought up to believe that a team that's not playing well and still winning is a strong team.
Yeah. Exactly.
And can only get better.
Yeah. That's the way I see it, Arthur. I've been saying this for a little while now. If we're getting results with the football we're playing, once we start clicking, watch the hell out. Because once we figure out what is going to work, because even though he's not tinkering too much, he's still solidifying what he wants. He's creating his foundation.
He's stubborn. He's still doing the 3-4-3, right? Because like what we saw during the Leicester game, when he switched to the 3-5-2, that freed Son up, and that gave more space for Son to run into balls that are coming in, being more creative for the players to be the chance to be creative, right? But will he take that risk against Arsenal, or is he going to sit back, use Emerson at the right wing, and use Romero to be Emerson's cover to actually nullify Martinelli?
But
You know what, though? Who else is going to start on the right, though?
I
Who's
don't
going to
know.
start
Maybe
there? Eugene,
Doherty?
we know Emerson's going to start.
I know. But the thing is
Obviously,
that
something's going
unless-
on.
But Emerson's a weak line for you lot. Why don't you not give
Yeah.
Jed Spence a chance? Yes, I know Jed Spence hasn't gained a lot of experience, but
Oh, come
you
on.
signed
He's
him.
only just joined.
Jed Spence.
But he would have been a defender who I would have took as a backup for Tomiyasu. I know Ben White's done very well since Tomiyasu's come injured, but Tomiyasu for me has to start this game because
Luca.
He's not starting this game.
Yeah, but if you play Ben White against Son,
He's not starting this game. Get out your head.
and Richarlison, is Ben White's going to have a long afternoon.
Luca, where Jed Spence is concerned, Conte didn't want him in the first place. That's one of the reasons he hasn't played at all. And so we don't know what's going to happen there. But I'll tell you one thing, we haven't finished building. It'll take 3 transfer windows before we're anywhere near happy.
Look, the thing,
Arthur, may I ask you a question, Arthur? Because I know I've heard this, and you guys got different, news outlets over there than what we get. The information is always a little bit different. But with Spence, the rumor basically comes down to that Conte's protecting him. He doesn't want to risk him coming on and having that stinker of a game that might mentally cripple him going forward. Do you find any truth to that? Or do you think that's just an excuse?
To me, that's the flip side of the coin. Conte didn't want him in the first place, so
Bobby K.
Is he protecting him, or is he,
Bobby K. That's just code word. I don't want you.
What's that, buddy?
That's just a code word for I don't want you.
Right? The thing is that in the end, Arsenal have already had one test against Man United, right? That was another tactical battle, right? And what happened? The elite manager won because Arteta played the same way and the same subs do it at the same subs at 75 minutes. Putting on subs with about 5 minutes to go, by which point it's too late because we're 2-1 down. Right? You'll find that in the North London derby as well.
But
right?
If
we're 2-0 down at half time, he won't change it. He'll change it at the 70th minute.
No, but Stephen. But Stephen, during the game against
it'll be the same.
Manchester United.
You can look at the past substitutions we've made. It's the same subs every single time, right? It's the same positions every
But is he
going to
make those 3 substitutions like he did at Old Trafford?
Right. Yes, I just said he will because
you can't bring all the substitutions at once. That's how we lost to Man United at Old Trafford. We can't do that.
Luca and Steven. Listen. What happened in Manchester United was very, very clear, right? Ten Hag played Conte ball. You guys dominated possession. You guys were peppering.
Yeah,
you
because
guys were peppering the defense.
No. Ten Hag.
It was just
Ten Hag did what he needed. He didn't want to play that way.
Yeah.
Ten Hag doesn't want to play that way at the minute. He doesn't want to play that way at the minute.
Yes, but he doesn't have a choice.
He's so crap. He has to play that way at the moment.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Right?
He didn't have a choice, right?
He's got a crap squad. He's got a crap squad, right? But he's managed to beat a squad that apparently is all singing, all dancing, and some of our fans are saying we're going to challenge for the league.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
Because they're that delusional.
Big up the Shawnee boy. Sean, big up. Yeah, moving on with the That's what I'm saying. If we do this, right, on Saturday against you guys, right, we do play the 3-5-2, bring in Bissouma with Højbjerg and Bentancur, right? Let Bissouma be the holding, break the guy to actually break your midfield, and let Bentancur and Højbjerg carry forward and be the more creative side of it, and give Son more space to run through, right? And of course, find a way to cover our right wing frailties. Maybe play Decky there or something like that. And maybe we will have a chance, right? But if not, it's same.
All Conte has to do is watch Arsenal from that Man United game. That's all he has
No,
to do.
that's true.
Because I'm telling you now, it's exactly the same. That Arteta will do exactly the same.
Yeah.
I can
But the thing
guarantee
is,
it.
this one,
I
what
can
the
put a
thing is
bet on
that
it right now.
in the end of the day, it's about experience, right? It's all about experience. Whether Arteta knows what to do during the game. What Ten Hag
Oh
did to
yeah,
Arteta.
what's the experience Arteta's got? None.
Yeah. No, he's got experience. He's got experience running the Manchester City B team.
Cone man.
Yeah, when he got his chance to win the first team, he lost against Lyon, for God's sake.
Oh no, I'm saying Arsenal now is the Manchester City B team.
Eugene, man, I gotta ask, how the hell do you drive and stream, man? I was like, I gotta jump on that. Eugene does it all the time. I'm gonna try this.
I'm used to it.
You got some skills, buddy.
Yeah. But of course, we're leaving Kesha out of this conversation. Kesha, right? Of course, we've been talking a lot about Spurs because the NLD is a very hot topic now at the moment, right? But like I've been saying, you being a West Ham fan, I don't think you care too much about the NLD, right? But of course, it will bring you some interest, right? Because I think
he did it in the last game in 2006. What did you have for dinner the night before?
Yeah. But let's get to Kesha. West Ham, who are you guys playing?
We're playing Wolves on Sunday morning.
That won't be
Away?
easy.
Home or away?
Home.
Home. We're playing at home.
West Ham's ground.
Oh. But after the international break and all that, do you think you have a chance to beat Wolves? Because Wolves is not an easy team to beat at the moment, right? Even
Wolves are one of those sides where, like, think about it, right? Last season, Wolves were like, when we played Wolves, we kind of knocked their confidence down a little bit. Whereas I know when we won both home and away, Wolves were on good form before we played them. But Wolves this season, they're one of those teams where they concede quite a lot of goals. And then, look, on their day, they can be a very good side, very talented side. They've got good players. But I think you've got a chance in this game, really. I do think, because you're at home. Yes, you got the conference lead on your mind. You want to win that. Do similar to what Leicester did. Go far in Europe. But I think West Ham, I think you can beat Wolves. I do think you can. And it's not going to be an easy game. Wolves do obviously want to start picking up points and climb up the table and try and get a top half finish this season. But no, I think West Ham, I think you can win this game. You've got good players. You've got Declan Rice. You've signed Shamaka. He was very good in the international break. You've got some very, very talented players. And, like, you can't go down with this squad, because if it is, then Moyes has got to get sacked. For me,
They're not going down. Come on.
No, they're not. But what I'm saying is that you've got to give David Moyes until the end of the season. Think about what he did at West Ham. He got into West Ham into a European semi-final. You've got to give him to the end of the season. Yeah, West Ham fans are going to be frustrating because of the way he's been...
to be honest, if it's still like this in January, then I would consider getting rid of him.
But who are you going to get in, realistically? Rafa Benitez?
We can't even think about beyond January now, because when November comes, right, the World Cup is going to play a big part of it. Half of our squad may get decimated from injuries.
It could affect Arteta as well. Like, think about
it could affect Arteta. It could affect Pep.
It's not going to affect Arteta. It's going to affect every single player, every single manager in the league.
Yeah, our squad is so thin. Not just only Arsenal, but every squad that has a thin squad. I think we're the only team that has a thin squad in the Premier League. If we pick up injuries like Saka and Partey and all them lot in the World Cup, then January.
What are you on about? We're already putting on 16-year-olds.
No, okay. Let's take an example for this international break, right? We had to send Richarlison out with Brazil. We had to send Sanchez out with Colombia. We had to send Romero out with Argentina. Yeah. Who did you guys send? Jesus wasn't picked, right? I think Martinelli went, right?
No, Jesus and Martinelli and Gabriel didn't go. Arsenal came out and didn't call them up. But what I don't get is why did they? If them three didn't go, why call Thomas Partey up? That's what
because he's one of their main players.
Because you got Edu there who's got connections to Brazil.
Ghana were not going to beat Brazil anyway.
Ghana in the World Cup?
Yes, they are.
So
Yeah.
they use it for
Oh, yeah,
preparation for the World Cup.
But you don't want to get him injured, though. That's the thing.
But was Partey
Oh,
injured
for
before that?
love of Christ, it doesn't work like that.
But was Partey injured before that? Was he carrying
No,
an
he just came
injury?
back from injury. He just came back from injury, and then Ghana put something on their Twitter page that it's only a precaution, so they let him not play yesterday's game. So he wasn't in yesterday's team, whereas he's flown back to London to try and recover and try and get fit for Saturday's game against Tottenham.
All
I
right.
don't want him on the pitch.
Yeah.
Huh?
That means
I
most
don't want him
probably.
on the pitch.
That means this
Why?
NLD coming up,
He's
right?
not
You
going to
guys
be
are.
match fit.
Yeah, you're gonna put on croc players to play against us.
Luca, what did we do in Arteta's first season, right, when we lost to Spurs at White Hart Lane? What did he do to Partey?
He came on and then got injured, and he was
He
out for a
played
amount
him when
of
he
weeks.
weren't match fit. And then when he
No.
got injured halfway through the game, he pushed him back on the pitch. And you want him to do that again?
Not really, no.
Then don't play him then.
Yeah, maybe don't play him.
What
then.
is wrong with people?
But knowing
what's
this
wrong with
manager, right, he's going to rush him back. This is why one of the issues is that we didn't go and get someone like Douglas Luiz or Tielemans on deadline day. We needed a midfielder, right? Yes, Fabio Vieira's there as an option, but he hasn't had a lot of game time. Yeah, he had a great performance against Brentford and he scored a great goal. Don't get me wrong, I praise him for that. But at the end of the day, if Partey ain't going to be, if it gets injured again and we rush him back, it's one of the issues why Edu and Arteta didn't bring any midfielders on deadline day.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, and of course, Caveman, says that never been worried about Partey.
Do you know what's funny? When Vieira signed, I was the first one to say, we're not signing a midfielder.
You were.
Right? We weren't signing a midfielder. That's their excuse.
That's true. But of course, maybe that will come to our benefit, right? If Conte will be not so stubborn, right, and maybe play a 3-5-2, and then maybe we will control the midfield, and maybe we will get the better results, right?
Look, I trust him as much as he's Tottenham manager. Right, I rate Conte and what he does, so I do see he would take that to his advantage.
Yeah, most probably. But like I was saying earlier, Stephen, right? We still do not know. We have until Friday to actually know what players that our managers have, because they're all coming back from so far away. Those also been flying, coming back, jet lag. If you push them into training too hard, too fast, they will carry little muscle injuries that you do not know, calf injuries that you will be found out during the game. That's what we're afraid of. And we are very, very prone to that, right? We're very, very prone to that. Being Spurs, we know that.
Partey will be only good enough for the bench. That's it.
Yeah, that's true.
He will not be match fit. He will not
and
be
don't
match
forget,
fit.
even we had scenarios where Perisic is down, right? Being taken out by our own player Højbjerg during the Denmark.
He's another player as well. Perisic at 33 years old, right? He's got so much experience whatsoever. What he's brought from the Serie A to the Premier League. He's another player who can cause us problems.
But whether he's going to play or not, we're not sure. You know, because don't forget.
Because they have options.
But you see, when Perisic played on the right against Leicester, right, we were shit. That first half against Leicester, we were shit, to tell the truth, right? Right. I mean, of course, after that, when he switched it back, and of course, when he changed the midfield formation, and that's when, of course, we were very, very early in the second half. We got the Bentancur goal to actually calm everybody down. And when Sonny came on and got another 3, that was more or less. I was saying, our performance against Leicester, we were just papering over the cracks again. We still have all those cracks there.
You're lucky it was Leicester.
Eugene, at half time, we were actually hanging on.
Yeah.
Leicester. Then he changed it. Different game entirely in the second half.
Yeah. Right. So that's why I'm worried about the game against Arsenal. And to tell the truth, Keshav, we played you guys, right, earlier in the season, right? I think it was the second or third game in the London Stadium. It was so obvious, right?
Yeah.
It was so obvious. Even when we got that first goal, we didn't go on to get that second goal, and you guys came back.
Yeah.
You can say, I'm not even talking about the Chelsea game. We're talking about the West Ham game. If we were actually that good at that time, we should have gone on and actually smack you guys and prove a point. But we didn't. Maybe we didn't have the ability. but it gave you guys a chance to come back. And the game
join the club.
and a 1-1 draw. Right, that's how I see it. But at the moment now, for the North London derby, of course, being a Spurs fan and being an Arsenal fan, right, we are all excited and anxious because this is just after the international break. We really do not know which players are going to be.
See, this is why this game, Eugene. This is why the North London derby is probably one of the biggest exciting games you're looking forward to this weekend, because it's about the excitement, who's actually going to be interested, who's actually going to be competing. Because two teams, probably two best teams in London this season so far, have actually competing for a top four. And for me, one of them are going to battle out each other.
Luca, to tell the truth, right? Depending on this game, it's not top four. You know, if we beat you, right, we will be top. If you beat us, right, you will stay top. Or even if you draw, you'll stay top. See? So the cards are all there to be played at the moment. And if this game was played after a normal football game instead of the international break, more or less of us, we could have judged our form of our players and all that.
If we lose against Liverpool and Arsenal, Tottenham, right, that's not gonna say we're going to get top four. I don't know where that's coming from.
Top four won't be officially over, but it'll be very difficult to get it.
Oh, come on. How can you predict that after 11 games?
Mate, it will be. Because
how can you work that out after 11 games?
But
it will be, Stephen.
No,
I'll tell you why.
10.
Stephen,
10
that will
games
depend.
we have played, and you're saying that's it, it's over.
Stephen, but that depends on the other games. That will depend on what Chelsea does, what Manchester United do. Right, whether they can catch up to you guys. That's the other thing, right?
No,
okay,
because
after you play us,
we've got to see where this manager really is. If we're good enough to get serious top four, if we lose the next two games, it's going to be the same old. But doesn't mean that top four is not going to be.
You're saying it's going to be like impossible for us to get top four if we lose the next two games, right?
Not necessarily.
We've only played 10 games yet. We're not even halfway.
No, not necessarily, but there's still a lot of points to play for. But what I'm saying is, right, it's not showing.
We don't even know if we're in the top four fight or we're in the challenging fight yet.
Yeah, but it's like not showing an example that we haven't beaten big teams. Like over the years, we've struggled against big teams, right? Especially when you go to Anfield, especially when you go to Stamford Bridge. Yes, we've beaten Chelsea away a couple of times recently.
But at least this season
that
you guys,
at least you guys are we need to get us top four anyway.
But you're
good enough. But you want to beat the big
teams
as well,
right?
Because at the moment, if we win all of the games we're supposed to win, right, and Liverpool do the same, we'll still end up above Liverpool.
Well, we will, but depending on the other games, we've actually got easy runs. Liverpool got Brighton this weekend. That's right. That's really 3 points.
Are you all going to Anfield or you're playing at home?
I'm trying to predict the top four with the next two games.
He's not trying to predict the top four next two games. He's just seeing that the chances of losing top four.
You're looking 2-3 games ahead.
If you lose to Spurs and if you lose to Spurs, if you lose to Liverpool, what I think Luca feels right. If you lose to Spurs, you lose to Liverpool.
But then people are going to say all these wins, right? Going into the international.
The thing is that Luca, I understand what you're saying. You are saying that if you lose to us, it's going to be a big blow to your mental morale, the morale, you know. And then if you lose
the confidence in the players,
and then the confidence will drop. Then the next game that comes up next, right? Will it be another big team, a mid-table team, or a lower-level team? Or let's say if you meet West Ham next, right? And West Ham beats you, that means that's 3 games in a row. And
that's what we did last season. We lost to Southampton, Brighton, Palace, and then we're going to beat Chelsea, Man United. And in the last couple of games, really messed up because of lack of injuries, and we had no experience in the team. We were linked with players in January like Ronaldo, Sanchez and that, and we didn't get players like that in January because what cost us top 4 was lack of experience. And yes, we've got players in this season. Yes, we are a different side, but we've got to show that if we're good enough to beat these big teams, it's no good obviously winning these games right now.
If we don't beat the big teams, but we win every single other game, basically, if we don't win against the top 6, but we win all our other games, we still end up in the 4th. You do know that.
Well, not necessarily. Depending if the other team's
that
gone.
is necessary. How it works out.
But Stephen, will
Because I
you
used to
beat
see
all
it
the
with
rest of
Arsene
the other
Wenger all the
teams?
time.
But will you beat all the other teams? That's the question.
Yeah,
too.
that's what I'm saying.
You
I used to see that with Wenger every bloody year when we got 4th. Every bloody year.
Yeah.
But that's
Right?
Wenger.
And then we had the odd season where we challenge. Right?
No, but that's Wenger.
So,
We're talking about
yeah,
Wenger.
but Eugene, right? What I'm saying is, if we beat every single team, but don't do anything against the top 6 as they call it, right? Which is what Wenger used to keep doing, right? We still end up 4th because that's what happened every season. So I don't know where it's coming from. I really don't.
And that's how Wenger turned.
And even then, you
and
play
that's how Wenger
fair
turned
game.
the fourth position into a trophy.
But even then, Eugene, you can't say where you are until you're at least maybe even halfway through the season yet.
Yeah, I understand. Even not halfway through the season. Maybe you're talking about nearly up to the 25th game. Then you know where you are.
Yeah,
right?
you know what running you're in.
Yeah. But by the time we reach our 25th game, right, we have to go through the World Cup, the January transfer window. We do not know what's going to happen there.
Exactly.
Yeah, we do not know what's going to happen there.
Eugene, I think this year is going to be difficult anyway because all the international games that are coming along, you know, it's a hodgepodge at the moment, and we haven't got a straight running season. Isn't it? It's all in the air. We don't know. We're speaking what is, and we're not getting anywhere fast. We just have to wait and see.
And to tell you the truth, right, the higher profile the players that you have at the moment, right, will become more susceptible to injuries and fatigue and all that when you go through the World Cup. Even Anthony might have a problem with that, right? Right. And of course, Luca, before you got to make a move soon.
I got to go about 4 o'clock-ish.
Okay, right, 4 o'clock-ish. Don't worry, that's about another. We most probably the show will end by then. We don't do too long on the midweek shows, right? But what I understand what Luca is feeling, and of course what Steven's feeling. But of course, like whether you guys are going to spend in January window, like what we did.
I think January is massive, Eugene. We've got to. We can't have a prime example, and this is what really frustrates me, right? And I know everyone's entitled to their opinion. I respect that, right? But if people think that we don't need to strengthen in January, then I'm sorry. But at the end of the day, Edu and Arteta can't see. Like, they can't go from the mistakes. Yes, we've had a great summer. Yeah, we've had a decent transfer window.
But of course, even for being a Spurs fan, right?
But in January, we've got to get a couple of players in. We've got to
We're
get
not
that.
buying anyone, mate.
Yeah.
Well, probably
but that's
not.
how Steven feels.
If you watch that all for nothing crap, right? That all for nothing prime video, whatever you call it. Yeah. They said in the January transfer window, we can't spend too much on players, right? Unless they're loans, because we spent so much in summer. Well, they spent the same amount this summer. So they use the same. Hang on a minute. Right? They've spent the same amount in this window. So they're going to use the same situation again. Right? Unless we could get a loan, we're not going to be able to buy any players. That's what they're going to say. Right?
Well, we're linked with Douglas Luiz. We're linked with players like that. Why can't we
you can look at all the links in the world, mate?
Yeah,
but in the end, that means nothing.
We being a Spurs fan, we are very used to being linked to nearly everyone in the world, right, Bobby? Right, Arthur.
Mate,
90% of the players out there, at least, yeah.
You could.
Sorry. I actually, that's a good time to ask. Have we got any progress on Damiao yet?
Trust me, you could find the link between Arsenal and Mbappe, for God's sake.
Yeah, doesn't mean it's not going to happen.
No, come on, imagine we already been linked to goalkeepers now, right?
Yeah, Oblak. I'll take him. I'll take him tomorrow, baby.
Yeah,
Oblak. Right. You really think he's going to come to Tottenham?
Yeah, Oblak. Yeah. He's in his last year of his contract. Apparently, he's open to the idea.
If you get Oblak, he's what King Arthur said, you could challenge in the next few years' time. But if you get players like Oblak, because Oblak's the best goalkeeper in the world, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's what we've been linked. We've been rumored to be linked with Oblak now.
But I don't think we'll get him. So,
Well, I don't think we'll get anybody at the
Three
moment.
transfer windows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'd rather see us get that midfielder. We need the creative midfielder or a stronger center back than Dyer, or at least cover for Dyer, and then
would you not take
somebody to
someone
sort
like,
out the right
would
side
you
there.
would you not take
For
someone
Obla.
like a Tillemans?
I don't think Tillemans offers anything more than what we already have. When you look at Basuma and Bentancur, I'd take Madison.
Think Tillemans, I think look, how much it really hurts me, but I think someone like a Madison would suit your style of play under Conte.
Yeah.
Because think about Madison feeding the ball to Harry Kane.
And that's what we need.
Madison, yes.
But
Madison, yes. Tillemans,
but Levy won't spend that money. Have you not noticed?
He is going to spend that money. You've got that Italian director.
We just spent 60 on Richarlison. You don't know.
You lot are acting ambitious.
With Conte, he'll have his arm off his back.
If Levy knows what's good for him, he will buy whatever.
Look at Fisher, right? Look at West Ham, right?
Eugene, if Conte knows, if Levy knows what's good for him, right, and good for Spurs, he'll buy whatever Conte wants.
But
that's what a smart chairman does.
But Stephen, we have not bought whatever Conte wants, right? Remember Jack Spence, right? Conte came out and said that he's a club buying, right? Why don't we? Why isn't Spence playing? It's because of that. It's not what Conte wanted. Look at Kesha here. He's sitting down here, right? They went out and got Paqueta for £55 million for the midfield as a precaution, just in case when the January transfer window comes around or next summer, right, when Declan Rice moves out. They're already making plans for that. We hardly ever do that. We'll go and get some player in January, right, with an option to buy on a 1-year loan or something like that. That's what we always do.
Yeah,
that's what we always do. Look at the way and to look and look at it, right? They spend Kesha, how much do you spend on Scamacca?
42, 40 to 45. I'm not sure. I think around there.
Two players that we actually could have gotten for that kind of money, right? If we didn't take Richarlison in, we could have brought in Scamacca to help out Kane, Son, and Decky, right?
But do you think Tottenham need another striker though? Because you got Richarlison as a backup, which actually he's a game.
No, I mean if we did look, if we didn't bring Richarlison, I'm saying if we didn't bring in Richarlison, we could have got a Scamacca or someone at his level at a bit lower and brought in an actual midfielder, right? A creative midfielder to cover that spot, but we didn't, or even get in a proper right wing back, right? To take away Emerson from his
What do you
misery.
think Tottenham need in January? More creative or anything like that?
Oh, in January, to tell the truth, we need another 3 players that we've been shouting for since this summer transfer window. A proper right wing back, a proper centre back, and of course, a creative midfielder. These 3 players, the fans have been shouting for it for since, Conte took over, since last January transfer window. We could see the weaknesses. I'm sure Conte can see the weaknesses, but Conte, let's say he's being patient now. He's giving Levy some rope to hang himself with, right? That in the end of the day, hopefully, he will get what he wants. But of course, being a Spurs fan, the only thing like what we all know is that we are always rumored to be linked to, and let's see what happens then, right? But like what Steven's saying is that will Arsenal spend this January? But because of what they've really spent in the summer, they don't have the budget to spend in January. Then you guys might have to work quick to start doing loan deals.
Look, I understand what Stephen was saying in that, and if we don't, yes, we have spent all the money in the summer, but the trouble is, if we don't spend in January, look, in my opinion, as I said earlier, I just feel like it's a big mistake. If we don't get top 4 at the end of the season, it all comes down to the board. It all comes down to Edu. It comes down to Arteta.
Look, let me say, even what Ben is saying, right?
It gets called the builder.
If we get Devra and Madison in January, right, that will actually make us quite happy, right? Make us quite happy because we're actually having cover in center back.
You should go for that Inter Milan defender.
Skriniar. I know Skriniar.
He's good.
Skriniar, but the problem is Skriniar now, right?
And get Dumfries in. He's good.
Yeah, but the problem is we never
Hang on,
do
you
that.
said he's shit in the Euros. He
But
said
guys,
he was absolutely shit. He wouldn't take him.
yeah,
I did, but now he's all right.
yeah, now he's all right. Yeah,
How's
but no,
Andre
come on, guys.
Silva?
Yeah, but in the end, we come down to the same thing again, right? Of course, like we've been coming saying this, we really do not know what's going to happen. Like what Steven said, this could be true, right? By the time the World Cup is over, most of our team will be depleted, and most of the players be fatigued, right? And most of the players that didn't go to the World Cup will
By
be
May,
around. Yeah.
by May, all the teams, all the players will be dead.
No, but Steven, some of the players aren't going. Like Salah ain't going to the World Cup, Haaland ain't going to the World Cup, right? So
Lucky.
I mean, yeah. So and like West Ham players, how many players for West Ham is going to the World Cup at the moment?
We
Yeah,
have
that's where the. Sorry, Kishev, sorry.
we have Declan Rice, Ariola, not Fabianski, Skamaka, Paqueta.
Yeah.
Have quite a few.
Do you think I've got a question, right, for the West Ham fan, right? Do you think having all these players in, like you just mentioned, is that something for the future where West Ham can start pushing for a top 6 finish, like having players like Paqueta? Because we were linked with players like that. But do you think that's something where, yes, you're in a position where not at the best start to the season, but there's still a long way to go, and you can push from 18th to like maybe top half, top 8. What would be benefit for West Ham this season? Do you feel like Conference League again, or do you need to go? Because I don't think you'll get top 6 this season, or would you rather avoid Europe?
Good question. Considering the start we've had this season, I feel right now at this point of time we need to get a couple of wins to gain confidence first, and then maybe start to look at maybe the half of this season, maybe the 15 to 16 game to really see. My hope is for us to finish in the top half. I've got no confidence in us finishing in the Conference League or Europa League because my focus is not on that. My focus is now on us getting a win against Wolves and just trying to push, because after the start we've had, I'm a bit worried by how we've been playing and the start we've had, because I think the start, to be honest, was not to say I didn't expect it. I mean, if you look at the games we've had, Man City, of course, that was going to be a tough game. We've got the likes of Haaland, who unfortunately ripped us apart our defense. And then we had to play Spurs, which was also another tough game, but we got a draw
West
in
Ham
that.
do well against Tottenham at West
always-
Ham anyway, so
We always do well. And we played Nottingham Forest. I watched that game. I mean, that was an unlucky game for us because we did have a lot of chances, but unfortunately we didn't finish them. I mean, if you look at all the games, we had chances, but it's just that for me, when I look at the side, Moyes keeps playing one way and one-dimensional way, and that's not what I want. Because if you think of Moyes and the way he plays, is very defensive right now, and if you have players like Paqueta and Skamaka, you got to make them play in a more attacking way. And right now, we're not doing that. If you look at what I've been impressed of is Tilo Kehrer, who has just come in. I think he's been a really good guy for us. But what I fear now is that if we do lose against Wolves, then it's going to be a huge worry, because if our confidence goes down like this, we have to sack Moyes, because a lot of fans are saying whether
would
to
you
sack.
take someone like a Poch?
I would really want him, but I don't think he's going to come, because
You won't go West Ham.
You won't go to West Ham.
he's going to come.
No.
A typical, if you look at our owners, Gold, Sullivan, and Brady, I don't want to talk about them, but they're really shitty owners, to be honest. But if let's say Moyes goes right now, I think they're going to go for Sean Dyche, or probably Steve Cooper, because that's what I've been
I
saying.
think Steve Cooper wouldn't be a bad shout, because
Steve Cooper's already tied up with Nottingham Forest. He ain't going to move him from Nottingham Forest.
Cash, sorry, I got to ask you, why do you say West Ham owners are shitty? You dropped 70 million or 90 million just on Paqueta and Skamaka.
Nearly 100 million, yeah.
I can agree with you on that, but I think it's to do with the past few years, because when we moved to the London Stadium, we expected the owner sent a message saying that with the stadium we're going to get top 6, and instantly and all that. But unfortunately, that didn't go as what we expected. We were finishing in 13th. We were finishing probably mid-table. And if you look at the relationship between the owners and our fans, it's not been great. But with the Czech owner coming in on board, I think that has helped us in a way. But I do feel that there's still some issues to do with the owners that is still in the West Ham fans' point of view. But I do have hope that in the future that we do get new owners, and I hope that's the case. Or Krasinski, who's our current owner, buys the club. But
So do we.
right now, probably right now at this moment, I am worried with how we've been playing because I'm very proud of these 2 seasons we've had. To be honest, I'm shocked with how we've been playing these 2 seasons because we've done well, we've exceeded expectations, and when you have those expectations with you as a club like West Ham, it's very difficult to maintain that for a level of period. And we've reached that level, and
it's like Leicester in a way where they've reached that level, and now all of a sudden they're having their dose of probably reality, maybe in a sense.
Yeah, but the truth, right, Kesh, your season started very early because you guys were already playing in the Conference League qualifiers and all that, right? But before I go to that, Luca, you're gonna make a move soon, right? Give a shout out to your channel. Give a shout out to the channel and let us know what you're doing coming up before. You're gonna do a pre-show for the NLD and all that, right?
Yeah, thank you very much for inviting me on. It's been fantastic. Nice to meet everybody in the panel.
Nice to meet you, Luca.
The rest of the
Nice to meet you,
Luca. What's coming up on my channel is, yes, on Friday, we've got my Tottenham preview at 9 p.m. We've got a few guests coming on. In case you don't know, do you know Tommy Talks? From Hotspur Hood. He's coming
from the Hotspur Hood, yep.
Got an Arsenal fan called Tony Claude Guna and Jez is coming on Friday 9 p.m. Yeah, Jez from Arsenal History More. So I've got them coming on at 9 p.m. So Friday, make sure you guys are there, turn the notifications on, and subscribe to my YouTube channel, Luca AFC. And
drop your link to the private chats, and I'll put it up into the comments so people can actually.
Yes, I will. But yeah, and yeah, man, that's what I've got coming up Friday 9 p.m. Man, North London Derby preview on my channel, man.
Are you doing a watch along too on Saturday?
No, I'm going to be doing a match reaction straight after the game.
That's good. Let's see how maybe I'll be able to join you while I'm driving home.
We'll see what my reaction is after the game. We'll see what happens.
Let's see what happens. Let's see. I don't know because this Saturday, while the game is going on, most probably I won't have a chance to watch it because work commitments and all that. But let's see how it goes. Luca, just send your link. Send in the private chat, and I can just put it up so people can actually. Right. And of course, back to Kesha, right? We were saying things like, you guys started your season very, very early. You already like okay. All right, Luca. Let me see how to do that for you. Right. Luca AFC. That's your YouTube channel, right?
Yes, it is. Yes.
All right. Let me copy this and I'll put it into the comments. Right, guys, it's not a link, but it's Luca's channel name. But if you guys can just give him a love, show some love there.
And more welcome to come on the channel and give their opinions and all that stuff. And anyone's more welcome to come on.
Yeah. All right. So sorry, Keshav, we were going to run, right? You guys started your season fairly early because of the Conference League qualifiers and all that. Do you think that has actually been detrimental to the start of the season, or usually it should have helped you guys to actually build up more momentum, be more fitter and all that? But somehow or another, you guys have focused more on the Conference League, and the league has just petered out and all that, or is it just fatigue from carrying over from the last season?
I don't think the Europa League or Europa Conference League has affected us, but what I do think it's the form from last season, because when this casting back to last season when we beat. I don't know whether you remember when we beat Liverpool 3-2 at our stadium. We were in a very good form, and then that run started to happen where we were losing many games. Our form was dipping, lack of confidence, and it started we back at the end of last season. We lost to Brighton, and we just didn't. We played really poor against Brighton, and Zoe's as a bogey team. We could have gotten sixth, and unfortunately we didn't get. And Man United, even though they lost to Palace, they got they got Europa League. So this I felt that is why we have started the season badly is from last season. It started we off from last season. But I think the
Alright.
conference has been good for us because we played well. Yes, I know there's some easy things there like we played Silkeborg um,
Alright.
uh,
Yeah.
and those
Oh,
teams who have of course it's not easy to play teams from different parts of the world, but we've done well. And I think I'm pretty confident that we can go far in the Conference League because I think this league or this type of conference league suits us in a way because it gives us more of a chance to reach further, and I think it's been helpful for us this season. But in terms of Premier League right now, we've just looked here. Uh, I've got no hope right now that even because we're playing Wolves this Sunday. I think I just don't know how we're going to play because I've not seen any evidence to say that there's hope for us to at least score a goal because we haven't scored a goal in the open play in the first half yet. So and if I was watching the Everton game, we just did we it's like I don't know whether you saw the Everton game. Like every time we Moyes looks up to play defensively, which I don't understand why. It's like we're hoping for something to happen, and then we, we crawl our way back into the game. When we shouldn't be doing that. We should be starting well. We should be attacking from the get go. We should be putting balls into the box and having Skamaka and Paqueta to score, which you're not doing. We're allowing them to score a goal, and then we come back from that. And the Everton game, it was just, it was poor defensively, and then you allow Moppy to score from open play like that. It's poor. And then the many chances to score, we didn't score. So I'm just hoping to see what we can do. But I'm confident that we can do better at this. But it's just that we just need to get a win right now. It's very important, and
that's true.
I'm hoping that we can do it.
Yeah.
Bloody
But
hell.
before you carry on, Cashin, Luca, you gotta get your score predictions for the NLD.
Yeah, yeah. Score predictions for this game. It's a tough game. I'm going to go for 2-1 Arsenal. I think we can win this game. It's going to be a really, really tough game. It just matters about if we're going to have the likes of Thomas Partey and all them not fit in that. But no, if we can get everyone fit and if we can battle the midfields, I think we can win this game. I'm going to go for 2-1 Arsenal, man.
Okay. 2-1 for Arsenal, right? All right, Luca. I guess you can go soon, right? I'll catch up with you next time, right? Take care.
Everyone who hasn't met me before, and thank you for you're more than welcome to join my match reaction on the weekend if you're free and that. Yeah.
Right, Luca. Thanks for joining
Nice
us.
meeting you,
right?
Luca.
Yeah,
Nice meeting you. Yeah,
All right.
catch up with you next time. Yeah.
All right, bye.
All right, take care. Yeah, there's Luca. Yeah, it ended up more like an Arsenal debate show on Spursration between Luca. Nah, but Luca and Steven have always have their views on how things go.
Yeah, mine's more sensible.
Yes, I know. Yours is always more sensible. But how is it? Right. Coming back to Keshav again, right? And for West Ham now, for your position, 18th of table, you're actually in the relegation position at the moment, right? And of course, the other teams below you is actually Leicester and who's the other one?
For Nottingham Forest.
Forest.
So Forest and
Yeah.
Leicester at the bottom. For what I see, Forest has a lot of problems because they brought in like 20 players, right? I don't know when they're going to gel. right? And that might be.
I do think Nottingham Forest will survive.
Mm-hmm.
I don't
So
think
who's
they'll
going to go down? I mean, if Forest gets up, who's going to go down? You say West Ham is going to go down?
No, West Ham is going down. Everton, I'm not sure.
No, Everton looks wonky.
I'd say Southampton is. Nah.
All right.
Bournemouth could run into its own problems as well.
Oh yeah, Bournemouth. We keep forgetting about Bournemouth, right?
But then Bournemouth, everyone said, after Scott Parker left, that team was condemned, right? They're now 12th.
Yeah, really. That's true.
But even then, like I said, it's still early in the season. It only takes 4 points to be in the bottom three. So it only takes 1-2 games. So I still think Bournemouth will go down.
Yeah, I know. What Keshav, I think you guys fear is that you have to break that not winning streak at the moment, right? And not being able to score goals. But maybe Samaka will come along, will become good for you guys, right? For you to actually win a few games to actually climb up the table. But at the moment now, how things are going, because don't forget, being in a conference league is also going to be very taxing on West Ham. That's how I see it, because I think because of last year being Europa League, it took a lot of you guys. But this season being in Conference League, like for us being Spurs fans, we know being Conference League is taxing, because you're going to fly somewhere half around Europe, which is like a 3,000 or 6,000 kilometers round trip to just get back and to play on Sunday again. It takes a lot out of players, right? That's why even now after the international break, the more players that you have flying around the world coming back to play for the team, that's my biggest worry, because at the moment now, for all you know, our North London derby might just all turn up to be a 0-0 draw, because the players are also burnt out. They just I'll just pass the ball to you, you pass to me, and we just run around the pitch for a while, and the game is over. Right? And I don't think Steven, will you take that? No, you won't take that.
No.
Of course, we won't take that. All of us won't take that, right? And of course, we're coming up to the end of the show now. Let's go around predictions for the North London derby. I'll give Keshav, of course, Lucas made his prediction. Keshav, being a neutral fan here, who do you think will win?
I'm going to go for 2-2 draw. 2-2 draw.
Oh, 2-2 draw. Bobby K.
Hello.
Yeah.
Who is going to win?
Tottenham 7-0. Now there's the dreamer in me. No, not 1-0, Stephen. 7, I said. There's the dreamer in me. The realist says that our record there is atrocious. It's a hostile environment. At the end of the day, Arsenal have been playing decent football. We are exposed sometimes defensively. We've got some weaknesses there. It's going to come down to, I think, tactics, and I think Conte will edge out Arteta there. But I honestly, I can see it being. I got to steal Keshav, is it?
Yes.
Keshav's, yeah. I think Keshav's right on the scoreline there. I think it's gonna be 2-2. I'd like to see 3-1 for us, but I have a feeling it's gonna be 2-2. So 3-1 is the dreamer, 2-2 is the realist.
Yeah. And Arthur?
3-2 Spurs or a 2-2 draw.
3-2 Spurs, 2-2 draw. And of course, Stephen.
2-1 Arsenal.
Oh, 2-1 Arsenal. Just like Luca.
So that's 2-1?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you're English. I forgot. Yeah.
Or if you want to make it really bad, let's do 3-1.
Okay,
yeah, but that's not really a cuss, though, is it? This is better.
Yeah, but I got a funny feeling, right?
Could be some fireworks, man.
Wait. Let me think. Who's the referee for this game?
Anthony Taylor.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice. We got a 12th man in our side.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah, baby.
Oh, Steven's changing his scoreline now.
Hang on, Anthony Taylor gave us the FA Cup.
Oh, yeah, that's true too. Right.
Yeah,
and
so
guys,
he gave you something, so it's our turn now.
Yeah. And of course, Guguma says it's 3-2 for Spurs, right? Anybody
Big up, Guguma. Hello, everybody in the chat. Have a great day.
Yeah, everybody in chats make a prediction before I end the show. But for me, right, I did a show with Hanno. I'm not sure you guys know Hanno, right?
Yeah. Good kid. Yes.
Young guy. I did a
Younger
watch
boy,
along with from South Africa. I did a show with Hanno, a watch along for the Chelsea game. You imagine his reaction for the draw.
Oh, he must have been so mad. Yeah.
So and if right, it ends up to be a 2-2, right, with Anthony Taylor there, and with all the controversies again, right? I think Steven was really going to kill him.
God, if that happens, I'll be just doing a loopy loop.
Yeah, and of course,
Yeah.
2-0 Spurs. But for me, of course, I want us to win.
I like the caveman's prediction. I'm going with that.
My reaction, you know when Kane should have had a penalty in the Euro semi-final, right? Where he should have won a penalty. It would be like that reaction where I've thrown my phone again down across the floor, and then I've gone to pick it up, and all you can hear off camera is me going, "Fucking wankers!" I don't want to fucking. And you've got my co-host like saying, get a VA and you can't, I'll fucking kill you. Oh mate, we both lost our shit on that one.
Well, we don't want you to get upset at the end of the game, Stephen. So we'll try to kill it off early for you.
Yeah, you wish.
Yeah. Let me give a big shout out to the guys in the chats thanks for being on, thanks for support. TH the Caveman, Guguma, big up to Guguma, Lisa,
the Empress
from Mexico.
Lisa, fantastic.
Benny, big up Benny, Kim, gonna send big love to you. Arthur, is Kim at your place?
No, she's gone home.
Oh, she's gone home. Big up to Kim. Kim's gone home back to her place. Lisa, Kim, Guguma. Of course, for a stock show, Shawnee Boy.
And
of course, Michael.
Jamie.
Yeah, he's a bit tired today, so he didn't join us. Right.
Happy birthday to your missus, Jamie.
Happy birthday to you.
Big up, Jamie, but your statement's wrong.
That's a couple of days ago, I think. I saw it on.
Right, and of course the Stuart, right? Stuart, they all came over from the coffee show, right? And of course Chris Agamba.
Yes, Chris. Big up.
Right, Chris. Who else do we have? Right. Let me go past. Did I miss anyone? In the chats? And of course Bobby K.
Hey, I know that guy.
I know
bit diluted, but he's all right.
Yeah, he's all right. And of course Kuva, big up to Kuva.
Yes, my man. There's my partner in crime.
Moving
the Kang, baby, Sunday night. We gotta change the time so we can get you to watch, Eugene.
Yeah,
I guess you don't want to wake up at 5:30 in the morning to watch our show.
I ain't waking up 5:30. No, if I wake up 5:30 in the morning, right, I'll join the show.
Well, then do it, buddy. Oh no, it's 5:30. It's Monday morning for you, right?
Yeah, Monday morning I'll be working. Maybe one of these days I might have a chance to do that, right?
You're always welcome, buddy. Always welcome.
You guys, right?
That'd be fantastic.
Right, thanks for being on. And of course, before we end, Steven, any shows you're doing on? Anything?
Yeah, we've got.
Are you doing a watch along?
Yeah, of course. Why not?
All right.
We got an Arsenal talk show tonight. We've got loads of shows. I've got a few shows coming up tomorrow and on Friday. Both on the F1 side and the
doing
the show, side.
Right? Yeah. Thursday you're doing the show, right? The preview, right? So you gotta send me the link. Don't forget to do that.
Friday I'm doing a preview. It's Friday.
Oh, not Thursday. Friday. Okay. Friday, 4 p.m. Right?
4 p.m. Yeah, I put
right.
For that. We got you and Tommy coming on.
Right.
For that, and then Saturday we will have who would I have on Saturday? Saturday I've got I don't know if you know Miss Melina.
Yep.
Miss Melina, she's going to be coming on the watch along.
Mm-hmm.
After I spoke to her the other day, so so she'll be coming on for the watch along, and then we'll both be doing a match reaction where we're celebrating. So there we go.
Oh, she's a Spurs fan?
No, she's an Arsenal fan.
She's an Arsenal fan, yeah. Miss Melina's an Arsenal fan. And Bobby K.
I'm going to let a Spurs fan come on for a North London Derby watch along. Yeah, I'm going to take that risk.
You. No, I'm going to join you.
Eugene would. Yeah, Eugene would. He's good like that, man.
You're gonna come on a watch along.
Yeah, I'll come on and watch along, but I'll be working too bad. I can't come on for watch along.
Mate,
I would love
trust
to.
me, I'm not taking.
Eugene, you drive and do streaming. I don't understand why you can't work and stream.
Eugene, I'm telling you, if I had decided to put a Tottenham fan on for a North London Derby watch along, we will lose.
You sure?
Yes, because it's
Bobby, in that case, do it.
Bobby,
let's do it.
Let's do it. I can't do
no,
it.
that's fine. We're doing it.
Okay.
Bobby will do it.
After Steven sends you the link, you send it to me, and I'll backdoor in.
Yeah, gotta let you in.
Oh yeah, there's that. Damn it.
And Bobby K,
yes,
what's
sir.
the Three Spurs boy doing nowadays?
Actually, believe it or not, we are back to having the Three Spurs boys. My two lazy kids finally got off their asses and did a show this weekend. So that will be coming on today, 2 p.m. our time here in Canada, 7 p.m. UK time. So they're back with David Harris and Nick from the Irish Hotspur. A little off the pitch show with them, get to know them, and then of course we'll be back Sunday with Kuvan the Kang. And I think what's going to happen is Kuvan the Kang will be me and Koovs, and I think the kids are going to start taking over off the pitch, and because I want the kids to, it's supposed to be their channel, so they got to start doing their own thing. And we were trying the pregame, the postgame, and there's so many people doing that stuff, and it's just we want to try to find our little thing that they're happy with, and I don't want to overwhelm them because of school and everything. So we'll back off the pitch today, and Kuvan the Kang back on Sunday. So 3 Spurs boys, the number 3 Spurs boys, come on over, give us a like, give us a sub. Even if you don't like us, just sub anyways. It's free. It's all about the children.
Yeah, all about the children. And after,
I'll milk that all day.
I guess you won't be going to the Emirates, right, for the North London Derby. But the next game, I don't even want to go about the Champions League game and about the Champions League ticket pricing and all that.
Oh God, yeah.
It's ridiculous, isn't it? It's ridiculous.
Yeah. But are you going?
What, to the North London Derby?
Yeah. No, for the Champions League game. Eintracht Frankfurt.
No. Can't be bothered. I'll sit here and watch it.
Yeah. Then what about the next following game? What do we have after the North London Derby? I know Arsenal's playing Liverpool, right?
Frankfurt.
After Frankfurt, what do we have?
I can't think.
You have got, after Frankfurt, you've got Brighton.
Oh, we got Brighton after Frankfurt?
Away.
All right. I can't be away.
Away
games, right? You can't be having 2 away games, right?
2 away games.
No. Do we have 2 away
you
games?
You do. I just checked it.
Seriously, I'm checking it now.
I'm on my phone, so I can't check.
Yeah.
That's crazy because we were away to Arsenal and then we're going to be away to.
No, we have 2 away games. Yeah, we have 2 away games against Brighton away again. Yeah,
I just shared it.
Yeah.
What night does that fall on? Do we know?
It's Saturday late kickoff.
Saturday.
Yeah, Saturday.
So 5:30 kickoff Saturday.
Yeah, 5:30 kickoff.
Good
Saturday.
Lord.
Yeah.
But then you get an extra day's rest because you got Frankfurt on a Wednesday.
Yeah.
Frankfurt Wednesday. Yeah. And Keshav, after who are you gonna play next?
Anderlecht, I think. Anderlecht.
Anderlecht. And you away or home?
Home.
Or you play home. Then the Premier League game will be?
Let me check.
Everybody's gonna check. That's what
It makes me feel better that these guys don't remember and they're young. See, I use age as my excuse.
You also said it earlier in the stream. Wolves at home.
We're playing Fulham.
They're playing Fulham away.
So then Fulham.
Fulham at home.
That's gonna be another London derby for you guys, right? And Fulham is playing quite well at the moment.
Fulham's playing very well, yeah.
With Mitrovic scoring left, right, and center. Right, we've been laughing at Mitrovic for the past 2 years. Every time he comes up, he can score. But this season, he's actually changed a lot of.
13 million 3 years ago, we could have got him for.
Yeah, I know.
Could have had Harry Kane's replacement 3 years ago. Well, let's not start that. Otherwise, your stream's going to end up being 4 hours.
Yeah, I know. But guys, thanks for being on. Thank you everyone in the chat. Right,
great to see you, Eugene.
And of course, Luca says 2-1 to Arsenal. We know, Luca. We know, right?
Big up, Luca.
Do hang around in the back room. I'll just do the ending of the show, right, guys?
Have a
See you
great day,
guys.
everybody.
Have a great day, everybody in the chat. Right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.